Good morning. Nice to see you, everyone. We have a lot of stuff that we have prepared. I mean, Paris, X days. It's been a year now, and pleasure to be here now. See many more builders than before. We have a few things prepared to show you how to navigate within the MultiversX ecosystem with all the builders we have gathered, with all the experience we have collected within the last month and years. And we want to start with our rebranding from Istari vision to Iverse vision. It's not only a new name, it's way more than that. Because we are in this ecosystem since day one, and we wanted to reposition ourselves to better help the community, the builders, all the degens here to find their way. So for us, it's about empowering the Web3 community of today and also tomorrow. That's our mission. We have decided with our repositioning of the company, of our team, to focus on 4 core pillars. Most of you know, Istari Vision has back then started as a staking provider. So we know the stuff about infrastructure. You can always ask us. We have built teams, 2 development teams. We have legal compliance. We have marketing, communications. We have grown a lot with MultiversX, and we want to give back to the community and especially to the builders who want to follow us on this journey. So we are also talking about innovation, meaning we do not want to copy-paste stuff that we are seeing in other ecosystems. We want you guys to be innovative. We want to support you on your journey. And we also do this with our teams. Incubation is probably more of the stuff that you have seen, not only because we had pitches at our booth over there. Some of the projects in this room, outside, have been working with us for more than 2 years. And the last pillar is instruction. Let's start with the infrastructure. Very important for every one of you as a builder. Shaping and safeguarding the Web3 ecosystem. You've heard some presentations already from the core team, from ecosystem partners. What are we actually doing here? Cloud services, dedicated server, everything you need to be able as a project to scale your solution. That's where we try to assist you. So as I said yesterday, and I see some familiar faces, we've met probably at X Odyssey or the days before, reach out. At any time, there is no stupid questions, just ask. So with infrastructure, to tell you a little bit of what we are actually doing within MultiversX, we are one of the larger ones when it comes to being a staking provider with 130 nodes. 0 downtime since day one, and also minus day one if we calculate the pre-staking. And of course, MultiversX announced we are opening the gates. What does that mean? Multi-chain staking. We have bridges. So there will be a lot of opportunities for projects from other ecosystems to join us. So please welcome them if they are willing to come to MultiversX. Give them a helping hand and support them, guide them on their way, because that's the only way forward, because we all have a common goal on this. For you to be able to get into the tech, we also provide definite testnet nodes, and we support the builders. And on top, and this is more one of our specialties when it comes to data infrastructure, the whole DeFi space, talking about Oracle nodes, indexes, and everybody needs an API solution. The incubation part. Most of you guys here, let's say, maybe that doesn't count because Benny always says we're at day one. So what can I say? You're in minute one or hour one of your project. So incubation is a very important process, we believe, because when you start, you're alone, you're a small team. Maybe you do not even know who to ask or what is the right question to ask. And this is where the MultiversX community and our team are here to help you. Kickstarting the high potential projects that we recognize within the ecosystem. What are we actually doing as an incubator? Short story, it's an all-inclusive package. So if you're just a development team and you have no idea of marketing, you have no idea where to incorporate the company, what is the regulatory framework, all that stuff, raise your hand. We are here to help, or our network is here to help, because we are all working together in this ecosystem. Very, very important. You can ask anyone, reach out. We have a lot of helpful people here, builders themselves, innovators, so please do not hesitate. Us being in Europe, it's important to think about MiCA. Read the papers. If you found your company, be compliant, because this is definitely coming. So be aware of all these, let's call them showstoppers or roadblockers that you might have as a startup, to be aware of them and be prepared. And of course, it has a cost. So documentation advisory, that's where we start with. Most of the time, you need to have a light paper with MiCA, a white paper. To reach out to investors and to bootstrap your ecosystem and your community, you need to have proper tokenomics. That comes in hand with the pitch deck when you want to show somebody what you're actually building, because you can have the best tech. If there is no distribution, you're probably lost. And on top of that, you should be aware of all your numbers. Where do you want to be in 3 months, half a year, even in 3 and 4 years? And what do you have to expect as an entrepreneur, growing a team, founding a company, having lots of expenses for legal, for compliance, for activities such as this? You got to be aware of that, and that also reflects back in the tokenomics. So this is very, very important for you guys to be aware of when you start your business. Do it properly, because we are not in 2017 anymore. This is not the wild, wild west in crypto. And unfortunately, it's not that easy anymore to just throw $500 in and get 1,000x return. So we're doing serious business. Keep that in mind. As I said, the incubation part also includes technical advisory and project development. We have grown a huge team. We are side by side with the project. We are trying to help you reach your milestones and even defining those milestones. What is necessary to have a well-executed business plan at the end of the day. And once you've got there, at some point you want to launch. And this is a very critical point, currently, especially in these market situations. We call it the bear market. So for some of you, it's maybe the first. For me, it's the second. I can tell you, it's getting better. Promise. Can't tell you when, but we have bright times ahead of us. So focus on building, focus on bootstrapping your project, your product, building your team. Very important, building your team. And make the right decisions now. Heads down on building, and at some point when market recovers, when liquidity comes back into the ecosystem, we can think about token launch and funding. So let's talk about some projects that are here, that have already launched, or that are at least live. I think most of you know the last X Launchpad project, Hatom. I'm not sure, are the guys here? Or maybe joining the stream, I think I can say it. I had the discussion with Ahmed, the CEO of Hatom, more than 1.5 years ago. And he pitched his project to me. And as usual, when you do a due diligence, we have investment criteria. Yeah? We are an investor in the MultiversX ecosystem, also in other ecosystems. But when you get to know a new project, you have a process. You want to know who's the team, what are they building, do they have a solution, is it a trustful project, where are they incorporated as well, who are the other VCs that are probably interested, so many, many questions. And he was pitching to us, and 1.5 years ago, we said, oh wow, there's a long list of red flags. So we either start working with them and try to push these limits, get rid of all these road blockers that we had back then, and it took 1.5 years to bring them to the X Launchpad. And today we can say Hatom is, especially for the DeFi space, one of the most important Lego bricks we have. And I think they have all the support of the ecosystem of MultiversX. I haven't seen another project that spends so much money on audits, so I think it's quite a secure project. And we are happy to have them, and I can tell you these guys are hardcore builders. They are growing, and they will deliver way more stuff that is going to be useful for our ecosystem. Next to that, we have AshSwap. Neil was presenting as well. Since he's here, I cannot talk about the red flags. We've seen with him as well. No, we brought a Vietnamese project, we brought them to Liechtenstein. And I think that's a very, very important decision for a founder, for an entrepreneur, to go to another continent, to make this decision, to incorporate the company and the whole setup, and to do it in a regulatory framework for the future success of his project. That's a very, very important decision. It's not the easy way, it's not the cheaper way, but it's definitely the right way. For us here in Europe, with Mika, we will definitely be a few steps ahead of others. And we already see that in the US. Everybody knows about the SEC. We still have some areas on this world where we do still have Wild Wild West, but you guys are in Europe, and if you have a lot of money in Panama, it might be difficult to get the cash on your European bank account. So think about it. We also have xDay2023, a new project to the ecosystem, launched on mainnet this week, right before xDay, concentrated liquidity, more stuff coming. I'm not sure if I can disclose too much information about this project. Same here, I think with Matthias, I've met also 1.5 years ago, quite a while already, in Switzerland. Hardcore builders, fully focused, huge team, and lots of experience. Bringing this experience, this know-how from other chains. They are on Near with other projects, they are on Concordium, they have a massive team, hardcore builders, and I think they are definitely filling a gap that we have in the DeFi space on MultiversX, and will help the whole ecosystem grow. As a next one, instruction. Let's do the one-on-one. Educating the community for Web3 success. It's a discussion we have in the team nearly every week. I had the same discussion here as well. I'm not sure if we have some DeFi degens here. The different ecosystems really work differently. I heard a very good example yesterday evening, and one guy said, blockchain ecosystems currently are like countries. So there is MultiversX. Let's say we are Romania, we speak Romanian. There is another chain that speaks a different language. There's a border in between. There's tribalism as well, unfortunately. And I think it's not only the educational part that we have to overcome, because there is a lot of new stuff to learn for each and everyone, and don't be afraid of mistakes. But to overcome this and push on the educational front, not only yourself, not only your team, also your community. That is very, very important, to grow your community with lots of educational content. Especially in the DeFi space, we are talking about money. And when you build an application, you need to have a proper user interface. Of course, it needs to work. I mean, that's basic. But people should not lose their money. So security is super important, and they should be aware of what happens when they click this button. This is super important. Innovation, that's your job. Ours as well. We are here to innovate. Not only to imitate, sometimes it helps a little bit, because we have to build things that are maybe existing in other ecosystem and we still don't have it. But we are talking a different language, so we have to be innovative in our space, and I think we have enough bright minds here to show other ecosystems what huge advantages we have with the technology, and a lot of stuff has been presented on the main stage. If you didn't have the chance, I recommend you to watch the recordings, definitely. I have to speed up a little bit as you're showing me the time. Innovation at Iverse Vision also means we have developers and we are also working on our own products. Right now, there's those 3 logos, those 3 product lines I can show you, and the little information I can give you currently is that these are, let's call them small tools, because you're also building cool stuff. It's something we have started to develop more than a year ago, and this is going to help builders in first place. So it's nothing that will have a token. It's nothing that we are going to launch on the, you've seen the next slide already, Entity Launchpad. It's tooling, tool sets, toolkits that are going to help builders, but also community growth. End of Iverse Vision, coming to our core product. Most of you know, we're running both companies, Iverse Vision and Entity, in 2 different countries. We're in Switzerland and we're in Liechtenstein. And with Entity as a growth engine for Web3, we want to have a hub for builders. So not only X Launchpad, there should be more, there should be diversification. We are doing things differently. We have seen how long it takes to launch a project, and we've seen this before with the Maya Launchpad, with X Launchpad as well. It's a long process, it takes a lot of resources, and that's why we need more, not just 2, 3, 4 launchpads. We need specialists working on this not saying competition. Don't be afraid of competition within this ecosystem. Everything here goes hand in hand. But I want to give you more details on this. Entity's key benefits, of course, it's a launchpad. We are launching projects, but also providing tools. So the whole story of the product Entity as a launchpad, as a core product of Iverse Vision, is to start the whole incubation process and then move on with the launchpad for the projects that meet the criteria and accelerate them. To give you an example, some of you might have known Knights of Katina. You gotta check the stats. We just brought an example because you all are aware we are in a max pain scenario with the market conditions currently. I'm not calling it a successful launch from the income for the project, definitely not. We have not raised enough money for them. We did not reach the goal, let's say. We could not create enough interest, but you as builders, I'm quite sure from the developer channel, you know the team, hardcore builders, they are still alive, they are still working, they are still pushing, and you can see that also in their stats. This might have changed, but they are in the most used applications, most transacted NFTs, and most transacted tokens daily without starting marketing. For them, it was super important to go live, to be on mainnet, to show their product, because this is a perfect example for Web3 adoption. The user doesn't even know that he has a wallet, and he's earning money while playing. And that works pretty well. And with the next patches and updates, these guys will definitely bring a lot of activity to our blockchain. DeFi on MultiversX, mentioned a few projects already. We want to push the whole blockchain ecosystem into the top 20 in TVL. I think this is a goal we can definitely reach within the next 12 to 24 months. We want to kickstart more DeFi projects. That's why Entity is main sponsor here of the DeFi track. The existing DeFi verticals, you know most of the projects. We have Atom, AshSwap, there is Salsa, Pulsar Money, DX25 is here as well. Reach out to those guys if you have questions. They are also super helpful. And we have also identified a few gaps. So I've seen a few projects working on these things, but we need more within the ecosystem. Maybe that gives you an idea what you can build, or maybe add on top to what you have already started. Yeah, lots of people here, lots of people online. We really appreciate that. This is just a reminder, again, reach out for help. Use the network that we have built in the last couple of years together with MultiversX. This is not on us as Iverse Vision or Entity. This is the whole MultiversX community. There is nearly to no competition. We are working all hand in hand, and we have to work with the resources that we have. So again, it's trial and error. If you get a no from someone, ask somebody else. Maybe they just don't have resources. Don't think your product is bad or your approach is maybe wrong. Maybe they just don't have the time currently. So reach out, talk to as many people as possible, get feedback on the stuff you're building, and try it again and again and again. And of course, if you think you are already at the stage of getting incubated, you know where to find us. We have a booth over there. We have our channels. It's hard to pass us. Thank you very much. And to all of you, keep building, stay positive. We have bright times ahead of us. And with the technical advantages that we have heard from the MultiversX team and all the great stuff that is coming, I think we are very well positioned for the future. Thank you.